Good morning. My simple task is to make introductions, and it is my solemn pleasure to take this opportunity to do introductions at this very important annual commemoration of the World Day for Safety and Health. This year's commemoration is unique in that it brings together with special emphasis on the young workers, as well as refocusing the world to the commitment to end child labor. The children and these young workers are the future of our nation and should be protected at any cost. I know fully well that we have busy schedules which we have sacrificed for this important occasion. What you are demonstrating here is your commitment to occupational safety and health in Zimbabwe. I request that we use this commemoration to rededicate ourselves as employers, employees, and government to good occupational safety and health management systems to prevent accidents, injuries, and fatalities in the workplace. We are greatly honored here today to have our invited guests who took time from their busy schedules to come and join us on this special day. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce some of the invited guests sitting in front of you. We have got this team to come, the Mayor of Harare, represented by Councillor Mpawonde, and my apologies, here, Councillor Mpawonde. Then a representative from the Employers Confederation of Zimbabwe, Mr. Fukale. Then a representative from the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions, Ms. Florence Taruiga. Then a representative from the Zimbabwe Federation of Trade Unions, Mr. Tagire. Then chairperson of the Apex Council, Mrs. Cecilia Alexander. Then the ILO Country Director, Ms. Oponan Kororo. The Nssa Acting Board Chairperson, Mrs. Daphne Tomana. Also here with us are members of the Nssa Board. We've got Mrs. Mukwewa and Ms. Mateko. And the Health Council, the Nssa Executive Management and Nssa OS Management Team. Workers a safe and healthy working environment. Thank you very much. As the program proceeds, as I hand back over to the Director of Ceremony
for the introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on, and I'd like to call upon the Acting Board Chairperson, Mrs. Tomana, for the welcome remarks. A round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. The Master of Ceremony, the Minister of Labour and Social Welfare, represented here by Mr. Kagapara, His Worship of the Mayor of Harare, Councillor Bimanengeni, represented by the Deputy Mayor, Mr. Mpawonde, the President of the Employers Confederation of Zimbabwe, Mr. Chimpwanga, the President of, represented by Mr. Mfukari, the President of Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Union, Mr. Mchasa, represented by Ms. Taringa, the President of the Federation of Trade Unions, Mr. Maparimba, represented by Mrs. Anyire, the Chairperson of the Apex Council, Mrs. C. Alexander, the ILO Country Director, Ms. Kororo. I think that sounds like Sean. The Nssa Acting GM, Mr. Mpawonde, Nssa Chief Occupational Safety and Health and Rehabilitation Center Officer, Dr. Bettinere Bona, Ministry officials here present, fellow Nssa board members here present, Nssa Executive Management and team, esteemed captains of industry, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this function. It is with great pleasure to welcome you all to this very important annual commemoration of the World Day for Safety and Health. I know fully well that have busy schedules which you have sacrificed for this important occasion. What you are demonstrating here is your commitment to occupational safety and health in Zimbabwe. I request that we use this commemoration to rededicate ourselves as employers, employees, and government to good occupational safety and health management systems to prevent accidents, injuries, and fatalities in the workplace. This is a very important event on the calendar of occupational safety and health as we commemorate our beloved colleagues who became victims of occupational accidents, particularly those who died. Your attendance is a clear testimony of the enormous value that you attach to occupational safety and health. This undoubtedly gives one a feeling that our safety and health focus as the country is alive and well. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's global commemorations are running under the theme Vision Zero, Safety, Health and Well-being for the Young Workers. I don't know if you have young workers. Maybe people are wondering who are young workers. Someone will define that, which is in line with our 2018 theme, Vision Zero, Safety, Health and Well-being. Young men and women are the future leaders and workers in every nation. Hence, they need to focus our campaign on them. For youth who are old enough to enter the labor force, the available data at ILO shows that they experience a 40% greater incidence of injury on the job than their older counterparts. As we are running with Vision Zero campaigns, we urge all leaders in different sectors of our economy to commit to ensuring a safe working environment for all and to focus on building capacity for young workers, for them to have the skills and knowledge to achieve zero harm, zero injuries, and zero fatalities. These commemorations come at a time when our national accident statistics are still far from inspiring. We therefore want to use this year's commemorations to review our strategies for improving our occupational safety and health performance and recommit ourselves to making our workplaces safe and healthy. As NASA, our safety and health teams have been going around the country raising awareness on the new global campaign of Vision Zero. NASA has gone a step further and trained all staff on Vision Zero so that they all run as one team for one common goal, the curbing of occupational accidents. We urge all organizations to take time to train workers about safety and health so that we can all be safe and healthy as we discharge our daily duties at work. Ladies and gentlemen, training can only happen and be effective if as an organization has a running occupational safety and health management system. Vision Zero campaign fits in well in a running system. Finally, I wish to thank you for putting occupational safety and health ahead of other pressing interests, and I firmly believe the prevalence of accidents and ill health arising from the daily occupations of our people will come down significantly from now into the future. I thank you.
Rates more likely to be associated with injury at work, whether from falls on badly regulated building sites or from using dangerous machinery in factories. Globally, 541 million young workers between the ages of 15 and 24 account for 15% of the world's labor force. They sustain up to 40% more non-fatal occupational injuries than do adult workers, those older than 24. And the workplace hazards can even pose a threat to their lives. An estimated 152 million children aged 15 to 17 around the world are in child labor, of whom 73 million perform work which is hazardous because of its nature or the circumstances in which it is carried out. Many factors contribute to hazardous child labor and the high rate of work-related injury and ill health among children and young workers. What is certain is that much more and must be done. Young workers face high risks as they do not feel they can refuse to do something, even if they think it might be dangerous. Young people feel that they have to accept any job. They might not have the experience or the confidence to realize when the risks are too high. Young workers are more likely to be new to a job, and research has indicated that during the first month of employment, workers are 4 times more likely to have an accident. These young workers are more likely to be lacking in education, skills and training, and to be easily persuaded by peer pressure to go along with dangerous working practices where older workers might be more cautious. Although official data and evidence remains very limited in Zimbabwe, there are strong indications that young people are an integral part of the tea, tobacco, and artisanal mining, gold and chrome value chains. They are thus exposed to numerous occupational risks, including pesticides, chemical fumes, and dust, among others. The high levels of informality and limited coverage of labor inspection systems, especially in informal economic activities, exacerbates this situation. The campaign for 2018 aims to accelerate action to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal, Target 8.8, which says to protect labor rights and promote safe and secure working environments for all workers by 2030. And SDG Target 8.7, which is to take immediate and effective measures to secure the prohibition and elimination of the worst forms of child labor, and by 2025 to end child labor in all its forms. Reaching these goals requires renewed commitment and integrated approaches to eliminating child labor and promoting a culture of prevention on occupational safety and health, particularly for young workers. I would like to commend the efforts made by all the key stakeholders in building a national culture of prevention on occupational safety and health. However, much needs to be done to reach these targets. Our renewed efforts will require innovation, concerted action, and importantly, the engagement of young people themselves. To achieve generation safe and healthy, there is a need to strengthen efforts to tackle child labor, guided by fundamental standards pertaining to the elimination of child labor. Government, employers, and workers' organizations need to come together to develop a framework for national programs of action regarding OSH for young workers. This would entail improving the collection and analysis of data and information on OSH and young workers, developing, updating, and implementing laws, regulations, policies, and guidelines to better protect the safety and health of young workers. There is also a need to build the capacity of key institutions to address the occupational safety and health needs of young workers. Ladies and gentlemen, young people also need to be empowered. For instance, through the strengthening of integration of OSH into general education and vocational training programs, so as to build a safe and healthy, conscious generation of young workers. It would also be fruitful to strengthen advocacy, awareness, and research on young workers' vulnerability to OSH hazards and risks. Lastly, for any of these solutions to be sustainable, there has to be a greater participation from young people that allows them to contribute to the creation of an OSH culture of prevention. I would like to conclude by reaffirming our commitment as the ILO to working closely with NASA and the tripartite constituents to achieve generation, safety, and healthy. Thank you.
The working conditions of workers in factories, farms, mines, and construction companies have drawn the attention of trade unions and governments. Working conditions from this era going forward became physically weary, straining, and mentally tedious, prompting industrial action by labor, which managed to bequeath factory acts, an 8-hour workday, and other raft of reforms meant to ensure the adherence to health and safety standards at the workplace. ZFTU is fully conversant to the fact that labor laws and children's rights also protect children, those below the age of 18 years, from working as child labor and compromising their health and education. The Labor Act 2801 provides for the legal protection of minors from being exploited as child labor through engaging in work that is deemed mentally, physically, socially, and morally harmful. Zimbabwe has also ratified UN conventions on child labor, such as the Conventions on the Right of Children of 1989 and the ILO Minimum Age Convention of 1973, Convention 138, and the Worst Forms of Child Labor of 1999, number 182. ZFTU will also continue to agitate that social partners must vigorously enforce occupational hazard preventative measures to ensure healthy environments at workplaces, generate information on occupational hazards, and offering support services. The government is also employed to speed up the rehabilitation of roads which have become an occupational hazard for drivers and workers in general during their travels to and from work. The state of the road network poses serious risks for drivers and passengers and must therefore be urgently addressed. The current drive to attract fresh capital and investments must be guided by a set of principles which cannot be bent, such as respect for labor laws and strict adherence to healthy and safety regulations. If capital is allowed to freely circulate without being regulated, the end result would be the resurrection of evils such as child labor, exploitation of workers, tax evasion, and lack of adherence to health and safety regulations. The transformation of the economy which has taken place since the beginning of the 21st century in Zimbabwe has engendered huge swaths of small-scale farmers, traders, and manufacturers. Child labor is key in the operations of these small-scale businesses, which are usually organized around kinship and family ties. Recession training in this sector is needed to inform policymakers on the best intervention strategies. Long live the workers of Zimbabwe, and long live ZFTU. I thank you.
And other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.